In this video, residency in Ecuador. Ecuador is a gem for expats and digital nomads and retirees with its low cost of living, stunning landscapes. You got beaches, mountains, low taxes, and one of the easiest residency processes in the world. But navigating visas and requirements can feel daunting, so in this video, we're going to break down exactly how to obtain residency in Ecuador step by step with all the practical tips you need to make it happen. So let's start with why Ecuador is so appealing. It's been popular among American and Canadian and European retirees for a long time. Cuenca, Ecuador has been a retirement hotspot for decades. Ecuador uses the US dollar, so no currency exchange headaches. It's pretty crazy seeing prices in US dollars with living costs that are so low. You go to a burger restaurant and it says, $2 for a burger, $1 for fries. And you're like, I can't believe I'm paying in USD and it's $2 for a burger. Rent, similar thing. You go on Facebook Marketplace and you inquire generally about rent prices and they go, yeah, 300 USD, 400 USD. And you go, I can't believe it's in USD and it's this cheap. So you can really retire here on a US pension or any kind of social security from your home country, and you're going to be able to live well here compared to where that money is going to last in the US. With Ecuador, you get visa-free travel to almost 100 countries with an Ecuador passport, and the path to citizenship is fast, just 3 years after permanent residency. Plus, Ecuador allows dual citizenship, so you can keep your US, Canadian, or other passport. There are two main residency types: temporary residency, valid for 2 years, and permanent residency, which lasts indefinitely. You typically need temporary residency first before applying for permanent status after 21 months. Let's explore the most popular visa options for temporary residency. The pensioner visa, also called the jubilado visa, is a favorite for retirees. You need to prove a guaranteed monthly income of at least $1,400 based on 3 times Ecuador's minimum wage of $470 in 2025. Now, since this is pegged to Ecuador's minimum wage, it will go up in the future, but just remember 3x the minimum wage, which right now in 2025 is $1,400. This can come from Social Security, a private pension, or an annuity, but not dividends or rental income. That is the Rentista Visa. For the pensioner visa, remember you'll need to add $250 for every dependent. So $250 monthly. So one additional dependent brings it up to around $1,650. There's no age requirement. Anyone with the income qualifies. You'll need a social security letter or pension statement apostilled in your home country, plus a clean criminal background check from the FBI or your federal police agency, also apostilled. All documents must be translated into Spanish by a certified Ecuadorian translator and notarized. You'll also need a valid passport, of course, with a minimum of 6 months validity, but ideally 12 plus months validity. You'll also need private health insurance valid in Ecuador and a medical certificate. The Rentista Visa is the second visa type we're going to talk about. And it's very similar, so people get them confused, but the Rentista is for non-retirees with passive income. You need $1,400 again, but this time it could be from sources like rental properties, dividends, or investments. Anything recurring. So unlike the pensioner income, the income doesn't need to be guaranteed for life necessarily, but you must deposit this amount monthly into an Ecuadorian bank account, and our team can help you with the structuring there. You'll need similar documents like bank statements or rental agreements, apostilled, plus the other same, background check, passport, and health insurance. The third visa type is the investor visa, which is another solid option for anyone that doesn't have passive income. You need to invest at least $47,000 in Ecuador's economy. This can be real estate, money in the bank, a certificate of deposit, or shares in a local company. For real estate, keep in mind that the assessed value, not the purchase value, must hit 47K. So keep that in mind. The $47,000 certificate of deposit is probably the most popular option because then you can earn interest as well. So you'll be earning interest in USD, so there's no currency risk, and the rates are very high in Ecuador. They've been above 10% recently. I think now they're down to around 8% interest, but that's still a good amount. So you put your 47K in the bank, you're earning 8% interest. You don't have to touch the principal, and you can withdraw the interest without affecting your visa. For the company investment, it gets complicated. You have to show the documents of the investment proof, the deed of purchase, the proof the capital is yours, etc., etc. So if you've already made an investment in the company, we can probably make it work. But if you're starting from scratch, just know that the company investment option is going to, be the one with the most headaches and be the most complicated due to the documentation required. Now, in order to maintain your temporary residency, you want to maintain the investment. You can liquidate it after you get permanent status, but when you renew to permanent residency, you have to essentially requalify. This is important, especially for the investor visas, but also for the rentista and pensioners visas, to know that you will need to requalify in 2 years when you renew to permanent residency. This is different from some other countries like Mexico, whereas in Mexico, when you renew, you don't have to requalify, you just basically renew automatically. Whereas here, you need to requalify, you need another police check, and you need to show your documents again. The next visa type is the professional visa. This is less common, but is great for anyone with a 4-year university degree. So how this works is you register your degree in Ecuador. It takes about 6 months or more to get your degree registered. So this visa is much slower, but basically the idea is that you can get a visa by registering your degree and saying that you're going to intend to work in your field in Ecuador. So this is an interesting option for people that don't have passive income and they don't have 47K. It is a bit slower, so keep that in mind. So if you want something faster, I recommend doing the 47K bank deposit option. But if you want something slower so that you don't tie up your capital, you can do the university degree registration option as long as you went to a well-recognized 4-year university. If you went to University of Massachusetts or University of Manitoba, whatever it is, that should probably be recognized. If you went to like a 2-year trade school or something like that, that's not going to be recognized. It really needs to be a 4-year university degree. Last up, there is the digital nomad visa, which is perfect for remote workers. This visa is new since 2022 and is ideal for younger expats as well. You'll need to show a monthly income of $1,400. You'll need to show that you are employed by a foreign company or self-employed with an employment contract or proof of freelance income. So this could be another alternative to the professional visa, the digital nomad visa. But the professional visa has been around longer and is easier for renewals because your degree will already be registered. So those are the different visa types. Now let's move on to the application process. We highly recommend using a visa facilitator. My Latin Life is a visa facilitator. We're a full-scale immigration consultancy. We have a lot of experience in Ecuador and in the region, and we'd happily handle your residency or citizenship in Ecuador. There's a link in the description to book a call with us to get the process started, and we can get this Ecuador residency in your hand, get the cedula, which is the Ecuadorian ID card, in your hand. We can also help you with opening bank accounts, getting a driver's license, investing in real estate, anything that you need in Ecuador. Going up against the government can be a daunting process. It can be intimidating, but you don't have to go it alone. Why not do it with a team that's processing residencies like yours every single day, that knows all the pitfalls, they know how to speed things up, they have connections, and they can just do all the work for you. And it's really not that expensive either. So link in the description to book a call with us. Ecuador is definitely one of those countries where a visa facilitator is worth its weight in gold. For permanent residency, you can apply after 21 months on a temporary visa, provided you haven't left Ecuador for more than 90 non-consecutive days during that time. The requirements mirror your temporary visa: same income or investment proof, updated background check, and health insurance. Keep in mind that if you've been absent for more than 180 days annually in the first 2 years of permanent residency, that can lead to a fine of up to $235, half the minimum wage. After 2 years, you can leave for up to 2 years without losing status, meaning that after the first 2 years of permanent residency, the requirements change and it becomes basically the same as Panama, where in Panama you need to visit every 2 years to keep your PR active, and Ecuador does the same thing, just visit once every 2 years to keep your visa active. Citizenship is an option after 3 years of permanent residency, or 2 if married to an Ecuadorian. And we have another video on this channel about Ecuadorian citizenship by marriage. If you're going for citizenship via naturalization, you need basic Spanish skills, knowledge of Ecuadorian civics, and proof of financial stability. You'll also need to attend an interview explaining why you want to be an Ecuadorian. If you are over 65, you can skip the civics test, but still must pass a Spanish test. Citizenship grants an Ecuadorian passport and a really interesting visa-free portfolio. Ecuador has visa-free China, visa-free Russia, really good coverage in Asia. So it actually complements quite well with a Western passport. So if you have a European, Canadian, American, or other Latin American passport, then Ecuador is really going to fill in a lot of holes in your visa-free coverage around the world and complement your existing passport portfolio quite nicely. It doesn't have visa-free EU, but if you're watching this video, you probably already have a passport with visa-free EU. So some common mistakes to avoid, incomplete documents, missing apostilles, overstaying your tourist visa, not staying enough days on the residency to renew successfully. So make sure you are aware of the rules so that you can renew to permanent residency successfully. And if you're interested in citizenship, that you're putting yourself on a path to citizenship as well and optimizing for those rules as well. So that's the complete guide to obtaining residency in Ecuador. From picking the right visa to securing your cedula, these steps will set you up for a smooth transition to this incredible country. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment with your favorite thing about Ecuador or any residency questions. If you've got a visa story that you love to share, please, let's hear it. We'd love to hear any anecdotes that you guys might have. And we'll see you in the next video. Check out the other videos on our channel about Ecuador, covering residency, citizenship by descent if you have Ecuadorian ancestry, and everything else global citizenship. We'll see you in the next video.